Hello, everybody, and welcome into today's episode of the Top Cut Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. My name is Sunny, and I'm here with my co-host Caleb.
Hello.
And, of course, before we get too far, I do want to take just a moment to thank all of our wonderful patrons. So a huge thank you to Cam Yang, Austin Johnson, Kane Martin, Gate Guardian Support, HGH Cyber, Marshawn Jones, Witchcraft Remain 2022, Zyphorus, Zephyrus, AD, Aaron Gardner, Anthony Lila, Blackwing Silverwind the Ascendant is a Floodgate, Branded Fart, Brandon, Eltrich, Cult of the Eltrich Gummy Bear, Damian Zink, Dank Nugs, Invoked Fart, Mountain Man, Nico Gal number 1, Bottom Text, Oatmeal Spaghetti, Owen Alvarado, Pig, Rudolph Sneaky Links, Sunny U Stubbornness, and it was super effective. Unbanned number 95, Konami, Virtually Savior's World, What Does Pot of Greed Do, Zingus Khan, Aluber the Goober, Get Kaiju, Loser, Maxi Solves Combo, Nordic Best Deck, Old Man Red, Pin Code 143, Ray Powell, Shockmaster Did Nothing Wrong, and Slaking It Up. Thank you all so much for your continued support of the podcast. And of course, we also want to let you know that if you want to find us, you can always find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, anywhere, of course, that you get your podcasts. We are starting to put a little bit more than our regular stuff on YouTube. We're trying to put out actual videos. So if you could, go ahead, hop over to the YouTube, quick subscribe. We would really, really appreciate it. And of course, we want to take just a moment and thank our wonderful sponsor, Dragon Shield. If you hear that wonderful shuffling noise right there, that is, of course, me shuffling some of these Dragon Shield art sleeves. This is the 2022 art sleeves, which are, I'll tell you the actual name of the design, Water Tiger 2022. They are a wonderful, wonderful matte finish sleeve, and they do a wonderful job of protecting your cards, and they look amazing in the process. If you want your chance to pick some up, you can, of course, find them on the Dragon Shield website. Their link is in the description down below. You can use our affiliate code to help the channel at no extra cost to you. And of course, if you want to buy some cards on TCG Player, you can use that affiliate code to help out the channel also. And what do you say that we go ahead and get on into the episode?
Woo, new cards. Let's go, baby.
Oh, before I forget, I actually do also want to say one last thing very quickly. We are still running our Remote Duel Locals on Thursday nights. So if you're interested in checking out our Remote Duel Locals, they are free to enter. They are there entirely to help people get better at the game. So if that's something that you're interested in, please, please, please go ahead, join the Discord server, and you can hop in Thursday nights for free.
Ooh, one hot second. Is this our first episode of this month? No, not really, but I forgot to say this last episode. Happy Pride Month to everyone who this applies to.
Yep, for sure. Happy Pride Month to everybody out there. So, you want to go ahead and get on into the new cards?
Ooh, definitely. I'm excited about some of these cards.
Yep, for sure. So, before we get too far into the cards, I do want to take just a little bit of quick play news. We do have the name of the next core set from the OCG, which will be pretty much translated directly over here. It's called Photon Hypernova.
So this is after Power of the Elements? Or the set after Power of the Elements?
I think there is the Power of the Elements and then another set and then this one.
Okay, cool. So, photons.
Yes.
It is a form of light that is neither a wave nor a particle.
True. Was that it?
That's all. I mean, it truth be told, it's one of those things where it is both a wave and a particle, but also not a wave and a particle. It's weird. Doesn't matter.
You know what that reminded me of when you said that?
What?
Vector!
Vector!
Vector! Something with, was it,
oh my god.
magnitude and direction!
I haven't seen that movie since it came out.
Oh, my son loves Despicable Me,
Yeah,
so...
I don't even remember. Oh my god.
He's a bigger fan of, honestly, the Minions movie because, he's 5.
Well, yeah, it's who the Minions are marketed toward.
And it does a great job of it.
I mean, yeah, it's big. I mean, yeah, marketing to little kids is big, really big. Yeah, I am having issues saying big business.
It's okay. It's late. We're both tired. I get it.
Okay, so let's start out with some of these new cards.
Sure.
So let's start with some new Duke Devlin cards. I love how the title of this article on the Yu-Gi-Oh organization is straight up Dimension the Dice.
Yeah, for real.
I will say I really love that little segment from the anime.
Yeah, people hated those few episodes, but I loved them.
It. I love Dungeon Dice Monsters. It was such a cool concept that we kind of got in the States a little bit.
But not really.
Yeah, we got like the base set and the blue eyes from the DVD, and that was it.
Yeah, people don't really remember that in the original Yu-Gi-Oh, not, I guess, manga. In the original Yu-Gi-Oh manga, and even a little bit in Season 0, you see this, where Yugi wasn't just the king of the Yu-Gi-Oh card game.
Yeah, he was king of games.
Right.
All of them.
Right. And in the original manga, he didn't just play the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. That was just a small piece of it. He played all kinds of games, and he slapped at all of them.
Well, this is all talking like super early on in the game's history, back when it was originally about a serial killer.
Yeah.
Where Yami was a serial killer.
Yeah. So, you know.
And the name of the game was Demons and Wizards, I think?
Oh, I don't remember.
Something like that. This is
It was a spin-off of Magic the Gathering.
Not quite a spin-off, but it was a Japanese take on Magic the Gathering.
Well, the original, so when I say a spin-off, the original card game that they portrayed in the manga.
Yeah, it was pretty much just Magic the Gathering.
Right. And then
literally without lands.
It's like Magic the Gathering with a lot more murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can even see this, and if you look in the original artwork for a lot of the original mangas, you can see that in the artwork.
Right, and I think that's why there was this fascination with getting things like Dungeon Dice Monsters and things like that into the show, was to kind of portray that, you know, there was more to this than actual Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah. You know.
So to the actual cards, so he's getting two of the cards that he used, that Duke Devlin used against his duel versus the Big Four, specifically Dice Dungeon, the field spell. So field spell card, Dice Dungeon. When this card resolves, I can add a Dimension Dice from my deck to my hand, the spell card.
Well, the player can, not just Caleb in particular.
Yes, just me, only me. I'm the only one who gets to play. Nah, it's not good cards. 2, at the start of the battle phase, I can make each player roll a 6-sided die, and if they do, apply these effects to each monster on the field based on the controller's result until the end of this turn. On a 1, a 3, or a 5, it loses as an attack, loses 500 attack, or gets their attack cut in half.
Right.
On a 2, a 3,
no, a 2, 4, and 6.
2, 4, and a 6, it gains 1,000 attack, gains 500 attack, doubles.
Basically, on odd numbers, they lose attack, and on even numbers, they gain attack.
Yep. So now for the actual normal spell that you search off this thing, Dimension Dice.
Sure. So Dimension Dice is a normal spell card. If you control a card that has a die rolling effect, attribute one monster, special summon one monster that has a die rolling monster effect from your hand or deck.
Not good.
I mean, neither of them are good, but
yeah. I even looked up all the monsters that have dice rolling effects. They're all terrible. So unless they release, I actually looked this up. Something the Relentless. Urgoth the Relentless. Unless they release him with like a really good dice rolling effect, that's like roll a dice. On a 1, destroy a card on the field. On a 2, banish a card from the graveyard. On a 3, do this crazy. Draw a 1. On a 4, do this.
Right. Yeah, they would have to literally release a monster with no bad effects on the die roll.
Yeah, which I don't think they're going to do.
Yep. Next, we have Performapal Odd Eyes Seer.
Fun fact about this guy, he can be searched, I think, by 15 different cards.
Probably.
Well, from 15 different archetypes, he can be searched. Because he's an Odd Eyes monster, a Performapal monster, a Synchron, a Tuner.
He's not a Synchron.
Yeah, it's Odd Eyes, Performapal, Synchron, huh?
Seer.
I thought I said Synchron. Well, he's not a Synchron, but like Performapal Odd Eyes by itself is a lot of searching.
Yeah, just in the sheer matter of it's a pendulum card.
Yeah, plus all the pendulum support.
Right. So it's a level 6 Dark Spellcaster Pendulum Effect monster, 100 attack, 1800 defense, pendulum scale of 1. Pendulum Effect. You can only use the Pendulum Effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. You can target one Performapal or Odd Eyes card in your graveyard, add it to your hand, then destroy this card. Monster Effect. You can only use the monster effect of this card's name once per turn. If you control this pendulum summoned card, you can activate this effect based on its battle position. Attack position. Banish this card, then target one Performapal or Odd Eyes monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. Defense position. Take one Performapal or Odd Eyes pendulum monster from your deck and either add it to your extra deck face up or send it to the graveyard. It seems good.
I don't know enough about Odd Eyes or Pendulums to really, get a good feel for how good or bad this card is. So I'm gonna leave it on it exists.
It does indeed exist.
Well, it will exist.
Indeed.
All right. So next up, we have a new Elemental Hero card, specifically a Neos card.
Yes.
Yeah, it's called En Shuffle. A normal spell card. You can only use the first and second fix of this card's name each once per turn. 1. Shuffle an Elemental Hero or a Neospatial monster you control into the deck, and if you do, special summon an Elemental Hero or a Neospatial monster with a different name from your deck. 2. You can banish the card from your graveyard, shuffle an Elemental Hero monster and one Neospatial monster, or one Elemental Hero Neos from your graveyard to the deck, and then draw one card.
This seems really good, actually.
The first effect, anyway, because then it essentially lets hero players switch around any two elemental heroes. I don't know how many elemental heroes are run outside of exactly elemental hero Stratos, thank you. I was drawing a blank on Stratos.
Yeah, no, it happens. Like I said, it's late.
Yeah. So I don't know if they run any other elemental heroes specifically.
I don't know either, but it does seem playable to me anyway.
I mean, people might start running Grand Mole again.
Nah, they would run Aqua Dolphin to rip up card.
Oh, absolutely. Grand Mole is just funny, though. I just have such fond memories of Grand Mole.
True.
Its Spanish effect's probably never going to go off because you have to shuffle an Elemental Hero and a Neospatian, or one Elemental Hero Neos.
Yeah, I don't see that going off.
Yeah, to draw a card. So, next up, the next set of cards we're going to talk about are Advanced Crystal Beasts. Yes, Advanced Crystal Beasts. In the anime, these were just like powered up, darker versions of the original Crystal Beast used to summon Rainbow Dark Dragon. So to begin with, we have Advanced Crystal Beast Ruby Carbuncle, a level 3 Light Fairy. You heard me right, Light Fairy. They don't change their typings or their attributes for this.
Nope.
Even though I think Advanced Dark, the field spell required for these, changes their typings to Dark.
It'd be like that.
Can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. If Advanced Dark is not face up in your field zone, send this card to the graveyard. All the Advanced Crystal Beasts do this.
Yes.
Every single one. 2. If this face-up card is destroyed in a monster zone, you can place it in your face-up in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell, send it into the graveyard. All the Advanced Crystal Beasts do that, as well as do the regular Crystal Beasts. So I'm just going to skip those two effects, just be aware that all these cards are about to, all these monsters are about to mention, all do that.
Yes.
Now the once per turn effect. 1. Oh, now the once per turn effect, 3. If this card is treated as a continuous spell, you can special summon it. Then you can special summon as many Advanced Crystal Beast monster cards from your spell and trap card zone as possible. It's alright.
It's here.
Yep. Next up is Advanced Crystal Beast Amethyst Cat, level 3 Earth Beast effect monster, 1200 attack, 400 defense. Same first two effects. Third effect, if this face-up card is destroyed in a monster zone, you can place it in your spell and trap card. Oh, they mixed around these effects. 2. Your Advanced Crystal Beast monsters can attack directly, but when they do so using this effect, the battle damage inflicted to your opponent is halved.
Yep. Next, we have Advanced Crystal Beast Emerald Tortoise. Level 3 Water Agua effect, 600 attack, 2000 defense. Of course, if Advanced Dark is not in the field zone, send it to the graveyard. Once per turn, quick effect. You can target one face-up monster on the field, change its battle position. And then 3, if this face-up card is destroyed in a monster zone, you can place it in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell instead of sending it to the graveyard. Yeah. Which, again, they all do.
Yeah. So, quick effect, you can tilt something.
Yeah.
Meh. Advanced Crystal Beast Topaz Tiger, level 4 Earth, 1600 attack, 1000 defense. If Advanced Dark's not on the field, all Advanced Crystal Beast monsters you control gain 400 attack and defense. Also, all face-up monsters your opponent controls loses 400 attack and defense. For a grand total of like an 800 point discrepancy there, which can really swing, because all of a sudden this Topaz Tiger is 2k attack.
I mean, it could come up, yeah.
Next up is Advanced Crystal Beast Amber Mammoth. For those of you who know of what I'm about to do, get into the chopper!
I don't know.
In the anime, for whatever reason, they gave Amber Mammoth an Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation.
Accent?
Yeah.
Interesting.
1700 attack, level 4 Earth Beast, 1700 attack, 600 defense, 1600 defense. Advanced Dark, blah blah blah. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets an Advanced Crystal Beast card or cards, and/or Advanced Dark you control, quick effect, negate the activation. Hey,
Okay.
it's an effect negate, but it has to target something.
Yeah.
And then Spell and Trap Zone effect. Advanced Crystal Beast, Cobalt Eagle, level 4 Wind Wing of Beast, 1400 attack, 800 defense. If Advanced Dark's on the field, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, add Advanced Dark from your deck to your hand. It's pretty good.
Yep.
And then blah, blah, blah. Finally...
Well, you skipped an effect.
Well, the next effect is, if this face-up card is destroyed in a monster zone place.
No, it's got it's got 4 effects.
It does. Once per turn, you can target an Advanced Crystal Beast card you control. Either return to the hand or place on top of the deck. That's awful.
They're all awful. Next, we have Advanced Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus. Level 4 Wind Beast Effect Monster, 1800 attack, 1200 defense. If this card is summoned, you can place one of your Advanced Crystal Beast monsters that is banished in your hand, deck, or graveyard. That is banished in your hand, deck, or graveyard, face up in your spell trap zone as a continuous spell.
Like, that's actually really good.
Yeah, but you know what's like really like disconcerting and off-putting about this card?
What?
If you zoom in real close on the picture, I'll let you zoom in. It's got no teeth.
Yes, because... No, he does.
It's got no teeth.
He's got teeth.
It's got no teeth.
He does.
This thing has no teeth.
He does.
No, it doesn't. It has no teeth.
I am zoomed in and I see the teeth. But
I disagree. No teeth. That's just the rest of his lip.
the issue is it's a different color from his lips. But I will say his teeth are really small for a horse.
It's got no teeth.
Moving on.
What? No. You're not gonna move on past this. No. These are bondage animals, and this one's got no teeth.
Bondage animal.
They all look like wrong. I'm just gonna say.
I mean, it's just their base forms, but they're armored, except Ruby Carbuncle, who just looks like a cat that's been out in the wild for too long. Feral cat. That's the correct answer there. Feral cat. But yeah, like all the rest of them are just like armored versions of their normal selves.
It's barely there's no way you can like actually consider this armor.
No, on Sapphire Pegasus, it's a
necklace.
No, it's a saddle.
Around its neck?
Yeah, it goes around the neck, and then it also comes like down, and then around the stomach too.
No, it doesn't.
Because if you look at the artwork of Advanced Dark itself, which I just had open.
Why?
Because it's at the top. That's Advanced Dark at the top. You can kind of see the side of the saddle.
Okay, so if I zoom in real close on Advanced Dark, boom, you can see its entire back, no saddle.
Hang on, I gotta lean over. Oh. Weird, they removed the saddle. Because it was there in the anime. I remember it being there in the anime and manga.
I mean,
weird.
Everything about this is weird. For the elephant, they only armored half of his trunk.
And his feet.
That's
not enough armor for an elephant.
That's not enough armor for anything.
Because listen, there is
They did give Ruby Carbuncle a very spiky collar.
Okay. Because listen, there is a historical, like...
Caleb, check the historical records.
No, there is historical, like, elven armor, and it covers, like, the entire face, it covers the entire trunk, and the sides. And it was all up, it was all slant... It was all lamellar, layered up, facing upward.
Listen, the point is that Pegasus got no teeth.
He's got teeth, but they're too tiny. Oh my god, they're so tiny.
That means he has no teeth. And it's a little bit disconcerting.
Should be told it looks like a tooth, just one big tooth around the entire front side of its mouth.
No teeth.
Which is, to be fair, which is more disconcerting, a singular mega tooth or no teeth?
Yes. All right, next we have a few reprints.
The only notable reprint, I think, is the Blue Eyes.
Yeah, so they're doing like a prismatic secret rare Blue Eyes that's like really hard to get apparently. And it's all the regular Blue Eyes White Dragon stuff. But
It's got the original flavor text from before the Ultimate Engine of Destruction.
right, so it's got the very original first Japanese flavor text, which is super rare card. The highest attack and defense card, too difficult to get.
Too difficult to get.
True. All right, and next we have a couple of Amazonas Continuous Trap cards.
Which I am game for these cards, just because the artwork looks great.
And they definitely won't be censored at all.
One of them definitely won't be.
Yeah.
The other one 100% will, unfortunately.
First we have Amazonas Audience Room, or Amazonas Hall, depending on how they translate it. Continuous Trap card. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. When this card resolves, you can add one Amazonas monster from your graveyard or face-up extra deck to your hand, or if it is a pendulum monster, you can place it in your pendulum zone instead. 2. If your opponent special summons a monster and you control an Amazonas monster card, you can target one of those opponent's monsters, gain life points equal to its attack. Okay.
Okay, the other one, which is the one that's going to be censored, Amazonas Secret Hot Spring, or just Amazonas Hot Spring. Continuous Trap, you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. When this card resolves, you can add an Amazonas monster from your deck to your hand, or if it's a pendulum monster, you can just place it in your pendulum zone instead. 2. When you take battle damage and you control an Amazonas monster card, you gain life points equal to the damage you took. Both of these would be great if they were continuous spell cards, but they're continuous trap cards.
Right, so they're like unnecessarily slow for no reason at all.
Which means the deck will not function.
All right, and now we have some of my favorite cards that got announced. The Doodles.
Yes, my favorite too. There's 3 Doodle cards currently.
Yep,
I'll let you get these 2 and I'll get the 3rd one.
That's fair. All right, so first we have Doodle Beast Stego. Level 5 Earth Dinosaur Effect Monster. 1200 attack, 1800 defense. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. 1. If you control no monsters, or all monsters you control are dinosaur monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. 2. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one Doodle Book Spell Trap from your deck to your hand, then discard one card. Not bad.
I mean, it's a searchable level 5 dino extender.
Yes.
Because level 5, that makes it searchable off of Fossil Dig. It's also searchable off of Normal Summon Oviraptor.
Yes.
Both of which also fulfill the conditions to special summon it out of your hand.
Yes.
Well, kinda.
Next we have Doodle Book I guess that's how you would say that.
No, it'd be more of a
Yeah, that. Normal trap card. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. 1. If your dinosaur monster is targeted for an attack, negate the attack, then you can special summon one Doodle Beast monster from your graveyard. And if you do, it cannot be destroyed by battle, also destroy it during the end phase. 2. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish it. Add one level 5 or higher dinosaur monster from your deck to your hand.
That last effect is literally just, if this card's in your graveyard, get Fossil Dig.
Yes.
Well, one level lower Fossil Dig, which is important. Now for the 3rd one, which is the coolest in my opinion. Doodle Beast Tyranno. Earth Dino, level 8, 2400 attack, 1200 defense. You can tribute summon this card by attributing one dinosaur monster. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. During the main phase. If there is a dinosaur monster on the field, you can quick effect. Immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon this card from your hand.
Broken.
2. If this card is normal summoned, I do believe a tribute summon is just another form of normal summon. You can destroy one monster on the field. Then if this card was tribute summoned by tributing a Doodle Beast, it gains attack equal to half the attack of the destroyed monster had on the field.
Not bad.
Bro! If you tribute summon this guy over, tribute summon this dude on your opponent's turn, it's an interrupt pop, but then also if you tributed the Stego for this, he gets big.
Yeah, it's a cool card. I think he gets up to 3k if you do that. Because I think Stego's 1200 attack.
No. He gains the attack of the monster he popped.
Oh.
Half the attack of the monster he popped. So he can very easily get really big.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, bigger than Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, depending upon what you popped.
Yeah, he can. All right, next we have Adularia of the Moonlit Water. So this is a V-Jump card. It is a level 5 water spellcaster effect monster, 1000 attack, 1000 defense. You can only special summon by the first effect of this card's name once per turn. You can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. If you have a face-up card in your spell and trap zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. 2. Gain 600 attack and defense for each face-up spell trap on the field. 3. You can send 2 face-up cards from your spell and trap zone to the graveyard. Send 1 level 4 or lower monster from your deck to the graveyard.
This is like almost an adventure card.
It's almost Crystal Beast support.
Yeah, it's almost Crystal Beast support, but then also almost an adventure card.
Honestly, yeah. Kind of crazy, honestly.
Key term, almost. If you have, like, your deck has access to other face-ups that you can just send with its effect, like, I don't know, sending already activated Fog Blades that you don't need on the field anymore.
Right.
To get their graveyard effects off. You can just bin Water Enchantress.
Yeah, you can.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, this card's actually not bad at all.
Oh yeah. In any deck that has a lot of spells, face-up spells.
Right.
You know, how many decks like that are there? 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Lastly, we got 2 new cards from the Crystal Beast structure deck.
Yes.
So first off, we have a quick spell card called Awakening of the Gem God. A more proper translation for the TCG is going to be something more along the lines of Awakening of the Crystal Lord.
Yes.
Cool. Quick play spell. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. 1. Reveal an ultimate crystal monster in your hand to activate one of these effects. Or, if you control an ultimate crystal monster, activate both of these effects. 1. Take a bridge card, except Evolutionary Bridge, S4 Bridgehead, and Stellar Knight Sky Bridge.
That's really specific.
Or 1 Rainbow Refraction from your deck. Either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. And or special summon a Crystal Beast monster from your hand, deck, graveyard, or spell and trap zone. It searches Rainbow Bridge and Bridge of Salvation.
I mean, yeah.
Next up, lastly, we have Crystal Brilliance, Continuous Trap card. You can only control 1 Crystal Brilliance. Crystal Beast monsters you control gain attack equal to their original defense. That makes Thermal Tortoise 3,300.
Yeah, it can be pretty big.
Yeah, that's interesting. That makes them all really big, except Carbuncle. 3. If a Crystal Beast card is placed in your spell and trap zone, even during the damage step, you can send this face-up card from your spell and trap zone to the graveyard. Special summon a Crystal Beast monster from your hand or deck. Also, any damage you take this turn is halved.
It seems like a pretty cool card, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah. And then other cards that are being reprinted in the structure deck. Hamon, Lord of Striking Thunder, great card in Crystal Beasts.
Yep.
Ghost Bell Haunted Mansion, Rainbow Bridge, The Melody of Awakening Dragon, good card. Cosmic Cyclone, good card. Ultimate Crystal Magic, Metaverse, good card. Rainbow Over Dragon, Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, and Crystal Bond.
Yep. These are all cards.
I mean, the Ghost Bell's a really good reprint.
Yeah, Ghost Bell is always a pretty good card.
It's one of those cards that kind of comes and goes out of vogue depending upon the meta.
Right. All right, so I'm going to take just a moment here now that we finished all these cards to thank, of course, our sponsor, ETB Games in Alexandria, Louisiana. So ETB is your one-stop shop for all of your card game needs. They have everything that you need for the games that you love, such as Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and Digimon. They have singles and sealed product. They have deck boxes, sleeves, playmats, binders, etc., whatever you need for the games that you love. They also, of course, have a wonderful tabletop game area that you can play Dungeons and Dragons, things like that. You can get figurines, paint for them, the guidebooks, the mats that go on the table, all kinds of things that are just really necessary for Dungeons and Dragons or any tabletop game, whatever you're playing, Pathfinder, whatever. Also, they have a wonderful place to go and hang out and play some video games with some friends. So if you are interested, check them out. Their link is in the description down below. And with that said, let's go ahead and get on into the other thing that we want to talk about today. So, if you have read the title of the episode, I'm sure you've seen, we're also going to take some time to talk about a topic that we've actually already talked about once. So
that was a while ago, and we've gotten much bigger, and there's a lot of new players getting in.
Yeah, absolutely. So something that we really want to emphasize on this podcast is taking players that are maybe a little bit newer to the game, or they've been out for a long time, and helping them get back into the flow of the game, helping them get into what it's like to compete in this game and play this game. So not everybody wants to go to big tournaments all the time and this, that, and the other.
Some people just want to hang out with their locals on a Saturday.
Right, absolutely.
And throw cards on a table.
Right, and I get that. But some people also have competitive aspirations, and there's nothing wrong with that. I personally have competitive aspirations with this game. I like the idea of going to big tournaments. I will travel for them. I'll go across the country for them. To me, it's a good reason to travel and go see things that I've never seen. Like later this year, I'm going to Niagara Falls. That's always a place I've wanted to go, and I know it sounds crazy to a lot of people. It's like, to most people, it's not that far, or people that are in like Eastern time zone and like up north and things.
Listen, we in the South. When I mean the South, I mean this South, that far south, where this is a normal way of speaking.
Yeah.
No, really. If I go talk to someone like down the street, that's how they're going to talk.
Honestly, yeah. I know people that say with conviction that everybody north of I-10 is a Yankee.
Yep.
Like, I-10 is not that. I-10 rides the Gulf Coast, you know? So.
Listen. There's some. I know people who have relatives who don't speak English. They speak French.
Yeah, and if you're from Montreal, that's not a big deal.
But no. That's how far south they are. They don't even speak French. They speak Creole.
Cajun French, yeah. My grandmother used to actually have a close friend of hers, and they would sit at the table and they would play cards, like they would play like rummy and things like that. And they would sit at the table, play cards, and talk about their husbands in Cajun French, because
they didn't speak Cajun French.
Right, the husbands didn't speak Cajun French. So like when they wanted to sit down and gossip or whatever, they would sit down, play cards, and gossip and things in Cajun French. And I remember growing up, my dad would, he knew a little smattering of it, of course, but naturally...
Through osmosis of just being around it.
Right. The only issue was all he remembered was the bad words.
Of course.
So, that was all I ever learned was the not so nice words. Listen, which, honestly, over time has also been lost to me.
Listen. There's only one Creole word that you need to know.
Gumbo?
That's Cajun, not Creole.
I would argue that it's both, but continue.
Fair. Étouffé.
I would argue that would also be considered Cajun, but it's funny that both of our minds immediately went to food.
Yeah, it's gumbo, étouffé, and jambalaya.
Yeah,
those are the three words.
Yeah, if you're coming to Louisiana, those are like the three words you need to know. Just ask anybody. They'd be like, "What are you trying to find?" And you're like, "Food." And they're like, "I mean, there's food all around. Gumbo, jambalaya, étouffé."
Yeah,
and it's like, all right, well, here's where you go. You go down the street to the left.
Yeah, you'll see a house with like 3 trucks in front of it. Yeah, that's a restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. Some of my favorites.
Or hold on, if you're in our neck of the woods, you go down this one street, and right before a Taco Bell, there's a building with a giant crawfish on the top.
That's not a joke. That's true. That's not a joke. Listen, when we say a giant crawfish on the top,
it goes across the entire top of the building.
Yeah. We don't mean like a comically large crawfish. We mean the crawfish is probably 80 feet long.
Maybe if it falls on like a group of people, it's going to kill. It would kill a couple hundred people. It is huge.
Yeah, and that's just honestly, that's not uncommon.
Yeah,
that's not the only place that I've seen a larger than comically large crawfish.
Another funny thing about our state. I'll say one more thing before and then we'll get back into what we're actually going to talk about. Every year, where we live puts up a bunch of Christmas lights for Christmas.
Right.
One of the Christmas light at this major intersection.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're about to say. Yeah.
Is Santa Claus, and instead of reindeer, he's got 3 gators.
Yes, he has 3 alligators pulling his sleigh, and most of the decorations and most of the Christmas lights they pull down the rest of the year. That one stays up year round.
Yeah, they just plug it in for Christmas.
Yeah, they literally, it's insane. Also, some of the best restaurants I've eaten at in Louisiana are in like portable buildings.
Yes.
So I don't know if this is a thing in other places.
They're almost like food trucks,
but they're not really like portable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like a food truck you can like drive off and go somewhere.
Yeah, this is more like somebody had a trailer, backed it up into the spot, dropped it, and that's where you eat at.
Yeah, so like, you know how you can buy those, like, it's like a shed. Yeah. It's like a pre-manufactured shed. Yeah. And you buy it and they just come in and drop it at your house and you have a shed. Like, it's like tin sides.
Yeah.
Maybe got one window on it. Yeah, those are some of the best restaurants around here. There's more than a couple.
Oh, yeah. I've only eaten at, like, one of them, like, twice. But, oh, my God, was it good.
Listen, I'm just going to say, if you're ever in Converse, Louisiana, which is beyond a small town, there's one restaurant there. It's called Granny's Cafe.
Oh, my God, Granny's.
It is amazing. It's so good.
And if you're ever near Toledo Bend, pick up some tamales. Some Toledo.
Oh yeah, if you're in Zawali.
Zawali tamales.
Yeah, so Zawali Converse right next to each other.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna bore you with that anymore. Although those tamales are amazing. The tamale festival they have in Zawali every year, worth checking out if you're ever
in the area.
In extremely rural Louisiana for some reason.
But also, be sure that if you go to the tamale festival, you bring a knife vest. Because there will be a stabbing. It may or may not involve you.
It might not be you, but somebody's gonna be stabbed.
No. You don't understand. Every year at the tamale festival, there's a minimum of 5 stabbings.
Yeah, no, I've heard that like people get shanked in Zawali.
It's gotten to the point to where if somebody says they're from Zawali to someone else who is from Zawali, the first thing they ask is, "Where's your stab wound?"
It's pretty bad.
And if you don't have, they'll look at you and go, "You're lying. You're not from Zawali then."
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
If you haven't been stabbed before, you're not from Zawali.
It's pretty bad. They don't even have a hospital. They just like live with stab wounds.
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
kind of. Yeah.
I mean, because they have the fish hookery.
The fish hookery?
Yeah, I forgot what it's actually called, but literally, it's a little station they have at the Tamale Festival. You walk up, and you say, "I have been stabbed," and they pull out a fish hook and some fishing wire and stitch you up.
Okay, that I haven't heard. I'm a bit skeptical of that. That sounds like a rumor. But I wouldn't doubt it.
And then they just kind of, then you give you a shot of rum and send you on your way.
That does sound like a very Zawali thing.
Wait. Cane River whiskey, not rum.
Okay, again, I don't know if that's true. I'm just going to be honest with you, but it does sound very much like Zawali. Okay, anyway, that was a 9-minute tangent.
Sorry.
Anyway, listen, if you're going to your first tournament, the most important thing is to bring Yu-Gi-Oh cards. They're very important to have for a tournament. Preferably like 40 to 60 of them.
All the standard rules and practices for a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Besides that, you're also going to bring sleeves. If you don't have sleeves, bring money to buy them at your local card shop. I'm 9% sure they're going to have some.
Okay, so
those range from about $5 to about $10. Bring like $10.
I would say 7 is like average.
Yeah, but I would say like 10 because then taxes and...
You can order Dragon Shield sleeves from the Dragon Shield website using our affiliate code for, I think it's $5.49 for a pack of sleeves.
Something like that for a pack of, what is it?
60.
Yeah, 60, yeah.
Also, if you follow us on Twitter, we are doing some Twitter giveaways of Dragon Shield sleeves.
Yes, you might be able to pick some up from us.
Anyway, again, tangent aside, Actually, I would say if you're very new to the game or you're a returning player, there's a few things that you need to know about going to a tournament, whether it's locals, regionals, YCS, whatever. When you're going to your first tournament experience, there's some things that you can do to prep to make sure that you are the most prepared that you can be.
One thing I would recommend real quick before I forget, because I'm going to forget if I don't say it now.
Sure.
If you go online and literally Google Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck List PDF, you'll be able to pull up a form fillable PDF.
Yes.
Put your deck list in that.
Okay, so that's something I was actually going to bring up.
Okay, I didn't know if you were or not, so.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So the sleeve thing was not a joke, actually. Sleeves are required by Konami to play in tournament events. They are there to make sure that people aren't stacking or marking cards. So,
and if your card's just got that bare back, it gets scratched up from shuffling.
Absolutely.
And you can eventually get a scratch that's very obvious to you,
right?
But may not be so obvious to your opponent.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's got an X scratch here. That is my blue eyes, as an example.
Right. I would say that a lot of people, not everybody, a lot of people play this game on a budget, but I would say that a lot of people put a lot of money into their cards and a lot of money into their decks. So it is beneficial for you to protect the cards that you're using.
So you can use them for a long time. You know, this
exactly
shiny cardboard you spent $50 on.
Yeah, like if when you're shuffling these cards, please, for the love of God, don't bridge shuffle. I mean, my goodness, that's just.
It always makes me just go.
If I see my opponent's about to bridge shuffle my cards, I will stop them.
I'll be like, whoa, 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 whoa.
That's over $1,000 worth of cards you're about to bend. Stop.
No, like, you know, if I see my opponent about to bridge shuffle their own deck, I go, whoa, 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 and I stop them like, whoa, whoa, hold up.
Oh, they can do whatever they want to their deck. But if they do that to their deck, I'll say, hey, here's my deck. You can cut it. Don't bridge shuffle my deck.
Yeah.
But I'll call a judge.
Yeah, but I'm one of the people like, whoa, 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 hold up, don't do that, and explain why, and then show them how to shuffle a deck without damaging it. Very easy to YouTube up. Look at that before you shuffle, but do not bridge.
Yeah, don't bridge shuffle. So sleeves are very important. They protect your cards. They protect your investment. I would sleeve any card that you think could be worth something. Also, like if it's in your trade binder or whatever, sleeve your cards. It doesn't cost that much for sleeves, and
then like once you've worn out your sleeves and you're like, I don't want to use the sleeve on my deck anymore, and you re-sleeve your deck,
keep those sleeves.
Yeah, you can use them for cards that are just going in your trade binder, cards that you're just putting into like your pile of I don't need this now, but I know I'm going to need this card later.
Yeah, I'm a hoarder when it comes to sleeves. If you look anywhere in my studio or man cave or whatever you want to call it, you can find just like boxes of sleeves. I save, like, when I open a fresh pack of sleeves and I re-sleeve my deck, I put all the old sleeves in the box and I save the box of sleeves. And then I've got a big box that I use to hold all of my sleeves, and it's like a big bulk storage box, and it's just got like thousands of sleeves in there. I have really old, cool sleeves that I'm saving if I want to bring them to a tournament, use them as extra deck sleeves, whatever. I have bulk sleeves that I can use as binder sleeves, whatever. I always keep my old sleeves. They're really important.
Oh, yeah.
Next, I would say get to the venue early.
So if they say tournament starts at 1, get there at noon.
Yeah, I would say getting to a tournament an hour early, or at least like 30 minutes at the bare minimum.
Because then it gives you time to stand in line if you have to stand in line.
Right.
Turn in your deck list if that's required for a local. Some locals don't require it. Some do. They'll have to ask.
Most locals don't require a deck list, but absolutely regionals and YCSs will. And case tournaments vary. So
yeah, it's definitely something you're going to ask and figure out beforehand. Yeah,
I would say to, like Caleb said, ask beforehand. Maybe message the shop, say, hey, I'm going to be coming here for the first time. Is a deck list required? If it is, I absolutely recommend the form fillable PDF. In fact, we can leave a link to that in the description down below.
I will leave a link to it in the description down below. You just fill out your deck list and print it out.
Yeah, it's really not bad at all. And if you don't have a printer and you can't do that, that's fine. Most shops, if they're requiring deck lists,
they'll have deck lists there for you to fill out, or even a printer.
right, and you can either print out your own deck list. You can actually make a deck list on Neuron on the app on your phone.
Yep.
And import it to an actual Konami deck list form. So very convenient. Next, I would say it's really important to understand the meta. Understand what you're going to be getting into as far as what you're playing against. But even more important than that is understanding your deck. Understanding how your cards work. Understanding, in case there's a rulings discrepancy, maybe your opponent doesn't know what your card does. Understand, that way you can explain it if need be.
Yeah.
You know, I would know all of your cards inside and out.
A great example is Small World being a very weird card that very few decks run. I have, just as an example of this exact situation of, I was in a tournament, I activated Small World, and my opponent ashed and went, so what are you banishing, so what are you revealing? And I was like, nothing, you ashed it. But you still have to pay the cost. There is no cost.
Right. And you knew that because that's your card.
Yeah, and I've read that card 15 dozen times.
Because to understand that card, you have to read it 15 dozen times, but I digress.
Yeah.
I would say that these are just a couple of things that you can do to prepare yourself. I would watch deck profiles to understand the composition and makeup of some of the decks you're expecting to play against. I would maybe even look up a combo tutorial video on that deck. Even if you're not playing the deck, if you're playing against it, it's still worth knowing how the deck functions. That way you have an idea of how to play against that deck, how to interrupt it, where to hand trap the deck. Also, you can check out, I know Gary from GGYGO just released an awesome, I think it's about an hour long where to interrupt guide for the entire meta.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's also very important, is knowing what your interrupts are, your negates or whatever, and also where to use them against the deck. You kind of have to have a game plan going. Because they're actually, so like, in this also part of knowing your deck, because there actually might be a weird interaction with a specific deck that your deck can do, which is hilarious.
Right.
I'm trying to think of like a great example of that. Right off the top of my head, I'm not really. Dino, just naturally main deck token collector.
Right.
Because it's an extender. Because with Lost World, it turns a Dino plus Lost World plus token collector. It can turn into full combo very easily, depending upon, no matter what the normal summon is.
Right. Right. I'm sorry, I've watched Emperor's New Groove multiple times recently.
Great movie.
Yes.
So like Lost World, normal summon, Dino, effect Lost World gives them token, a token was summoned, token collector, pop the token, protect it with Lost World, bam, you're off to the races. Which makes the deck hilariously naturally good against
Sword Soul and Adventure.
Sword Soul and Adventure, because I'm already running token collector.
Yeah, I think that deck's actually a really good meta choice for right now.
Stuff like that. Weird, silly interactions like that. That's like the first one that comes off the top of my head. Can you think of any like weird, silly interaction that's just naturally built into the deck that...
I would say that, and I'm coming up with this because I'm playing Sword Soul, but I would say it's very important to understand that you can special Ashuna make Monk, and then special the Longion. And then, if your opponent token collectors you right there, you can use Ashuna to summon Adhara to make Yazi. And then pop their token collector.
Yeah, and then that's just kind of something that's naturally built into Sword Soul. Just a natural line of progression they can do to get around
Token collector.
Yeah, specifically token collector. Which is hilarious. Also a whole lot of floodgates.
Yeah.
Well, it would depend on the floodgate.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's like Rivalry, they can pop the Rivalry and then they can just kind of go, cool.
Well, I would be happy about Rivalry.
I mean, it prevents you from making Baron and White Aura Whale. And the new Archfiend, the new Thought Ruler.
Oh, Psychic and Punisher.
Thank you, Psychic and Punisher.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Right. I would say knowing some of these more intimate lines of play are something that comes with time and understanding the deck.
Yeah.
But I would really recommend knowing your deck very well and do some test matches with it before the event.
I still have another good example.
Go for it.
Okay, so you're playing against Dino and you're playing a fusion deck. Doesn't matter what fusion deck. Shadal, Despia, doesn't matter. Probably
Sure.
gonna be Despia. If they ultimate conductor your stuff, you don't care.
Right.
Fusion decks are the only deck that do not care about their stuff getting flipped face down. Because you can still use face down things as fusion material.
Right.
Which is hilarious.
I think that there's also something to be said before you go to the tournament. Make sure you're well rested, well fed, well hydrated. Yes, absolutely. Because if you're tired and hungry and thirsty the whole time, then it's going to make your tournament be a lot longer than it really needs to be.
It'll definitely make it feel a lot longer.
Right.
And you're also going to make a lot more mistakes because you're distracted and
tired and burning up.
Just don't do that.
Yes, absolutely. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we really want to add on to this.
Make sure you have your mat.
Yeah, a playmat is a really important part.
Keep an eye on your stuff.
Yeah, that's really important. So I recommend a bag that can lock, and some of the locking bags are kind of expensive. So if you can't afford a bag with a lock, a lot of people wear their bag actually like on their chest to really make sure that their stuff is not getting like unzippered when they're not paying attention.
Yeah, and then like while you're in the middle of a game, you put all your stuff on the table, zip up your backpack, and then you stick it in between your legs.
I do that every single tournament. Every round of a tournament, my backpack goes between my legs and I can feel it the whole time and I know it's there.
I personally like to rest my backpack on my feet. Because then it puts the weight on my feet.
Keeps you grounded.
Yeah.
Keeps you grounded.
Yeah, it also keeps me from like if the chairs are really tall because I'm kind of short.
Yeah.
It also prevents me from just kind of swinging my feet like that, like I am now.
I was about to say I just looked under the desk to notice that you're just freely swinging your feet.
Yes, because this chair is like ever so slightly too tall for me.
Yeah, I see that now. And here I am raising every chair up.
Yeah. I'm short.
True.
Sue me.
So, I would say that some of the things that I would eat in preparation of the tournament, I would eat a sturdy breakfast, like a hearty breakfast, something with some protein in it.
Grits.
I mean, grits isn't bad, yeah.
Grits
Eggs.
and butter, eggs, some bacon.
Something like that,
Some
yeah.
toast. And a banana.
That's my thing. I think bananas are like a superfood. I don't know if you know this or not. Eating 2 bananas is actually the equivalent, the energy that you get from it is the equivalent of drinking an entire energy drink.
Another fun fact about bananas. They're radioactive.
Slightly, yes. But that's fine. That just means they give you superpowers.
But no, the funny part is the amount of bananas you would need to eat to start having the effects of the radiation. You would have other problems before
potassium poisoning.
Yeah. And even before the potassium poisoning, which you can actually get real easily, from eating 2 meat, like I think it's 4 bananas is enough.
Oh, it's way more than that.
Well, to put down like a child who is probably the person who would make the decision to eat like 4 or 5 bananas in a row.
Hey, I like bananas. I can eat 4 or 5 in a row.
Yeah, but you're also I'm talking about like a child who just got a whole bananas, just eating them one after the other real quick. Then
I could eat 5 bananas in a row real quick.
But you're also what, 6'2"?
6'1".
I was close. You're
6'1".
Yeah, you're
6'1", 250. Yeah.
Yeah, 6'1", 250 pounds. You probably have to eat 8 or 9 bananas, like one after the other.
I feel like I could eat an entire bunch of bananas. Wow, this podcast has really gotten off the rails.
Yeah.
We spent like 5 minutes talking about Zawali.
Fair enough. And who knows how many minutes she's talking about? Bananas. Anyway, eat good.
Yes.
And then also have plans for afterward.
The best part about going to a tournament is going outside and chit-chatting in between rounds, and then afterwards going out.
Boys.
Yes, go out with all your friends and get it like a cool dinner, get some sushi or something.
Yeah. Now when we say you and the boys, this includes women too.
And everybody else. This is everybody.
Being a member of the boys has nothing to do with gender.
I mean, true.
It's kind of like Warhammer 40k and saying brother.
I don't get that reference, but...
Oh, so a common thing Warhammer 40k is say things like, brother, get the flamer. The heavy flamer. In that context, brother is a gender-neutral term that just means comrade. Friend.
Yeah. I would say that Saturdays are not necessarily for the boys, but Saturdays are for the boys.
Saturdays is for slinging cards. A child's card game on motorcycles.
Absolutely. All right, that's gonna wrap us up for today's episode. We've done enough tangential
rambling.
Yeah, that's a good word. That's a good use of phrase. Tangential rambling. That's like half of this podcast, I feel. All right, so
it's not necessarily a bad thing.
True. All right, the most recent podcast question of the day was, what do you think is currently the best deck in the format? Actually, this is the first episode of this month.
Oh.
Because we took last Friday off.
I forgot.
Did we take was that last Friday?
It feels like it. I don't remember. Time for me has been all wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Time is a flat circle. I don't know.
Doctor Who reference for those of you who caught that.
Best deck in the format: Heroes, Pendulum, Dragon Link, Adamancipator, Despia. I feel like I already read these off.
You probably did.
The point is, this podcast question of the day will be, what are some of your things that you do before you go to a tournament? Whether it be play testing, eating a good hearty breakfast, getting all your cards and trades together, whatever. Be sure to let us know on Twitter and, of course, in our Discord server in the Podcast Question of the Day channel that we have just for this. So, with all of that said, a huge thank you to all of you for listening, sticking it out, hearing us ramble about random towns in Louisiana for some reason.
And bananas.
Yeah. Banana! We've come full circle. All right. Thank you all so much for listening to today's episode of the podcast. Be sure, of course, to check us out on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your podcast. Tell a friend. Let them know what you think. And, of course, until next time, have a good week, everybody.
Take care, everyone.